How can you start a budget? Why would you want to start a budget? Today, we're going to talk about 3 important things to do when you're setting up a budget, as well as 5 benefits of setting up a budget. My name is Tommy Cloud. I'm president of Third Act Retirement Planning. We have been helping people all over the country for 25 plus years to manage their wealth wisely. And today, we're going to share yet again another way that I've seen my clients successfully handle budgeting. When you're talking about budgeting, I think one of the first things that you need to start when you're thinking about how to do a budget is you've got to set the amount. How much do you need? And do you want to put saving in there, possibly giving in there? What's going to be included in this budget as your money's coming into your checking account? Could you quite possibly need to set up another checking account? Could you quite possibly need to set up, if you don't already have it, a savings account or an investing account, an IRA, if you're not using a 401k? So these are questions that you'll have. Number one, you want to know, what should the budget be based on your living expenses and your goals? Once you get that number, what you want to do is find out a way to try to help yourself to be disciplined. It's like paying the home mortgage. And I always say to myself when I'm trying to go to the gym and work out is, I hit the bed every night. Why can't I hit the gym every day? It's just a matter of discipline. No one has to tell me to go hit the bed every night, go to sleep every night. And I should be able to go to the gym as well, or exercise every day if I'm going to bed every day. There's no difference between the two, really. They're both activities. And I take a shower every day. Why wouldn't I go to the gym every day? But we're going to get into self-discipline in a minute. But right now, you get the budget, and then we're going to talk about step 2, which is you might want to set up a different account. It could be a investment account. It could be another checking account. But what you really want to do is, and you can use the account to pay yourself first, or you can use the account to move money into that account just for living expenses. So say you have a checking account, your main checking account where you're paying your bills out of, the money's coming into the account, and you just take the money out, you put your giving in another account, put your saving in another account immediately, and whatever's left over, you can spend, that type of thing. Or you can have the money come into the account and put it into an account that you actually use for your daily life, whatever it may be, utilities, eating out, whatever it may be, put it into that account. And then when it runs out, it's out. If you're going to do the latter one, where I've seen people put money into an account, they just pay themselves, I would pay yourself every week, because when you run out of money, it's a lot easier to make excuses and use self-discipline when you're 15 days away than when you're only 2 or 3 days away, or maybe even 4 days away. You can go 2 or 3 days without spending money on something and wait to get it, which is critical for setting and keeping a budget. Number 3 is the self-discipline. Self-discipline is by far, without question, the hardest piece. And as we talked about, doing it's not that hard. Going to the gym is not that hard. Doing squats and push-ups is not that hard. Getting under a barbell and doing a squat or a bench press, no matter how weak you are, you can probably bench 45 pounds. Or no matter how weak you are, you can probably curl 5 pounds. So it's not a matter of the level of difficulty in doing the activity. It's a matter of self-discipline, fighting our sinful nature, which loves to be lazy, loves to have that slothfulness, and fighting that, and then having the self-discipline. Best way I've found to do that is to start doing it. And then once you begin to have success, you become more and more motivated. And the most critical piece to self-discipline in my life is prayer. To give it to God, to give it to the Lord, to spend time with Him, earnestly ask Him for self-discipline, pray to Him, say, please give me the self-discipline, God, to stick to this budget. It's something I'd like to do. May your will be done in my life, not mine. And as you're praying to God, He will also help you. It's going to take action on your part, and it's going to take prayer. Can't do it without God, and you can't do it without yourself. As years ago, Keith Green, a famous Christian contemporary songwriter and singer, performer, wrote in his lyrics, just keep doing your best and pray that it's best, and He will take care of the rest. So with those 3 things that you need to do to get it going, after we talk about that, we're going to talk about the 5 benefits of the budget. And number 1 is the financial control and awareness. The Bible does talk about knowing well the condition of your flock. That's an important thing to have, and that's mentioned in Proverbs. So a budget's going to provide a clear picture of where your money goes, enabling you to make informed decisions about spending. It helps ensure you're living within your means while understanding your spending habits. That's fantastic. That's what you want. Number 2, goal setting and achievement. I talked a little bit about this before. Budgeting allows families to set and track financial goals together, make necessary adjustments to spending patterns, create a unified financial vision for the family. I've been working with some wealthy people for a long time, and these people are savers. They don't operate the way the rest of society does. Really, they don't. Most Americans die broke, and these people are relentless savers. They are scared to death of being homeless oftentimes. And when you see anyone that has something in their life, it's most likely something they worked for, they focused on, they set goals, they made it a priority, and saving is no different. Budgeting is no different. The people that don't have the credit card debt. So many Americans have credit card debts. My clients, of course, have none. I'm not bragging about myself. I'm really bragging about them and hoping that it'll challenge you to be more like them and hoping that I can be more like them. Number 3 is emergency preparedness. Another third benefit of setting a budget. Regular budgeting will allow you to build emergency savings. This aligns with biblical principles of wise planning and stewardship. It helps prepare for unexpected expenses or income changes. You're going to need this if you're super serious about a budget. You need that emergency plan as well, emergency savings as well. And when you use from it, going to be an air conditioning, replace a roof, replace a floor, car repair, whatever it may be, then you just start resaving back into it rather than saving in your retirement and build it back up. And by the way, budgeting is important. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. You can be Bill Gates, Elon Musk. They still have to have a budget. If Elon Musk is making, let's say, $3 billion a year, he still can't spend 4. The budget's important for any company, government. So budgets are not for poor people. Budgets are for wise people. Number 4, you want to also benefit by having a structured approach to money management. This helps you to categorize your expenditures into groups like housing, transportation, and food. And this enables implementation of structured methods like the 50-30-20 budgeting approach. And you can look up something like that, 50-30-20 budgeting approach. Just Google that. You can do your own research on that. I'm not going to get into that on this video. And then number 5, one of my favorite ones, particularly if you're married, is enhanced family communication. As many of us know that unfortunately have been through a divorce, we know finance is the number 1 cause of divorce. And I don't even think infidelity is in the top 2, even though it's mentioned in the Bible, I believe in Matthew. But yeah, finance I think is number 1. And then I think it's emotional, psychological abuse or something like that, criticism, hate, that type of thing. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about number 5 benefit from budgeting, and that is enhanced family communication. It creates an opportunity for discussions with your spouse and even your children if they're living under your roof about money, and it helps teach our children financial responsibility. It also is going to promote transparency and trust within your family. These are what we've gone over, 3 things you need to do, 5 benefits from it. Hope you found this video useful and you'll subscribe, like to this channel because we certainly are going to have more videos coming up in the future.